Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining and welcome to MaxPreps office hours, specifically made for our athletic directors. My name is Haley Hughes, and I am a customer service supervisor here at MaxPreps. And we have with us today Erin Hendricks, who is a partnerships manager. Today, our webinar will be recorded. So at the end of this webinar, we will be sending out a recording via email to everybody that signed up to come today. And we just wanted to let you know that you will be muted throughout the webinar. So please feel free to use that chat box or the Q&A feature in order to ask any questions that you may have. And Aaron will do his best to respond back in that chat or Q&A feature as we go. And if we happen to miss a question or we don't get to them, we'll have time at the end to answer any questions that you may have. So with that being said, let's find out a little bit about MaxPreps before we get started. MaxPreps was created in a small town in California in 2002 by a local high school basketball coach who was looking for a better way to get his team recognition in the local media. He made it our goal here at MaxPreps to celebrate the institution of high school sports and recognize that for so many young people, this will be the pinnacle of their careers, and the memories they make playing high school sports will be some of the best of their lives. That being said, we aim to cover every team, every player, and every game, no matter the size of the school or popularity of the sport. There are about 50 or so employees. A vast majority of us are former athletes or coaches. All of the customer service team is operated by about 8 people, including myself. So when you give us a call, you can talk to a real life person who knows and cares a whole lot about MaxPreps in the high school sports community. Our goals today are going to be to walk through the essentials for you as an athletic director. So we'll walk through how to gain access to your school, how to get into your AD admin page, the best ways to grant access to your coaches and manage your teams, how to request to add and remove a sport from your school, and we'll walk through both your AD admin and coach admin pages for teams at your school and answer any questions you may have. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to use that chat box, the Q&A box, in order to ask them. We'll do our best to answer them as we go. And if we don't get to them, we'll have time at the end. These slides are just going to be a quick overview of what we're going to go over in the live demo. So this will be we'll run through these pretty quick, and then I'll go into more depth about what you see here on these slides in the live demo. So to get started, you'll want to either sign up if you haven't created a membership account with MaxPreps yet, or log in if you do already have that account. Here on the right-hand side, all the way to the right, you'll see the flyout menu that you get. So when you log into MaxPreps, you'll want to click a profile icon in the upper right-hand corner, and this is the flyout menu you'll receive. So you'll see your first and last name here and sign out. Any school or teams that you already have access to will be up here at the top. And then any teams you're following will be at the bottom. Once you click on your profile icon, if you click on it again from this flyout menu, you'll get taken to your membership account page, which you see here front and center in your slide. So this is your account profile page where you're going to be able to manage your actual membership account, as well as access your admin account or request or remove any access that you need to from this page. And again, we'll go over that more in detail in the live demo. So inside your AD admin, what you see here on your screen is what you should see when you log into your AD admin account. You have the option for a calendar, manage your school, teams, message center, update your school logo, a notification center, a place to manage your coaches, and a place to run reports as well. And with that, you'll be able to update any information for your school from here. So once you're in and you go to manage your teams, which most athletic directors log in to do, you can update your coach names, give your coaches access, log into team admins, update rosters and schedules for coaches, or if you'd like to do it yourself, you can do so right from your AD admin account. So what you see here on your screen is your managed teams. So this is where you can go to log into any team at your school. That will log you into the coach admin for the team. So it's what coaches would see if they were to log into their admin accounts. From this screen here, where you see current varsity head coaches, you'll have the option to adjust or give any coaches access. So varsity, JV, freshman, right from your AD admin page as well. And then again, so if you go to your managed teams and you want to log into the coach admin, you will see this screen here at the bottom. So this is the coach admin homepage. And again, this was just a quick run through of what we're going to cover here in the live demo. So if you would like, you're more than welcome to pull up maxpreps.com and follow along. If not, no worries. Again, we'll be sending out a excuse me, we'll be sending out a recording of this in an email. So if you need to go back, you'll have that recording to do so. And again, if I'm going through anything too fast in the live demo, or if you want me to go over something again, feel free to shoot that in the chat box or Q&A feature, and I'm more than happy to cover that again or revisit something. So if you want to go to maxpreps.com, this is your homepage of maxpreps.com. You should see either this sign in button in the upper right hand corner, or it'll be a profile icon. So if you click sign in or that profile icon, if you're the profile icon, hold tight. So sign in, you'll get this page. You'll enter your email and password if you already have a membership account. If you don't, you'll go to create an account, create that membership account, and then you'll come back here to sign in. So if you enter your email and password and click sign in, you should be taken right back to your MaxPreps homepage. So if you see this profile icon in the upper right hand corner, you'll want to click that in order to get into anything admin related. And to get to your membership account profile. So if you click your profile icon, this should look familiar from what you saw in the slides. It should have your first and last name up here and sign out, along with any school or team that you already have access to will be listed here. So you see your team or school listed here, you already have access to them. Down below are any teams that you're following. So if you already have access to a team, you're going to automatically be following them. And you'll see any teams that you're following from here, and you can add a team that you'd like to follow right from this menu as well. But if you don't have the correct school, team, or if you want to add teams you're following or edit any information about your membership account, you'll want to click your profile icon or your name right here from this flyout menu in order to get to your membership account profile page. So this is similar to what you saw on the slides as well. This is your membership account page where you can edit any of your specific membership account information by clicking this pencil icon next to account info, where you'll be able to update your email, change your password, your name, and so on, specific to your membership account. If we go all the way to the right here, you'll see the teams that you're following. So these should look exactly the same as the teams that you see when you click on your profile icon and see these teams that you're following down here. So if you need to make any changes to those teams that you're following and you don't want to follow a team anymore, or you want to add a team, you'll just click the pencil icon next to following. And you can remove any team from that list by clicking this check box next to their team name and scrolling down to remove any teams that you no longer want to follow. You can also add a team from this page as well, similar to what you saw here from adding a team directly from this flyout menu. So if we head back to your account profile page, you'll see in the middle here is your access. So if you don't have your school listed here, or if you have the incorrect school, you've changed schools, or whatever it may be, and you need to update your access, you'll click the pencil icon next to My Access, and you should get this list of the schools that you do have access to or teams that you have access to, and you can remove, similar to the teams that you're following, you can remove any teams that you no longer need access to by clicking the checkbox next to the school name and clicking remove. If you need to request access to your new school or new team, you can do so by going down here to request access on this page. If you click that, you'll get this form where you fill out the information for either if you're a coach and you want access to a specific team, or if you don't have access to your current school, you'll fill out this information, which will go through an approval process, comes through support. That takes no more than 1 to 2 business days for you to get access to your team or your school. So if you have coaches that need to get access to their teams, they can go through their account profile page and request access to their team through here, as well as I will show you how to grant them access yourself as the athletic director. But if you wanted to, you could always send your coaches here to request access to their teams from this page as well in their account profile. So heading back, once you go through that approval process and you get access to your school, you can come back here and you should see your school listed here or your team listed here, and you should be able to just click on the school name and that will take you directly into your admin account for the school. So that's from your membership account profile page, but keep in mind that your profile icon that you see in this upper right hand corner is on every single page of MaxPreps. And if you click on that, you'll see your school admin listed there as well. So this is on every single page. If you click right from here, it'll take you to the same place as clicking from your membership account page directly into your school admin. So let's head in there now. And you should get this screen here. So let me zoom in for you guys. You should get this screen here with your AD utilities. You should see your school logo up at the top. If that looks incorrect, you can come down here to school logo or even click on the school logo. And that will get you to this same page where you're able to choose a file from your computer and update your new logo, as well as update your mascot name if your mascot name has changed. So from your AD homepage, we've added a few cool new tools to get to what most commonly needs the AD attention. So if you haven't logged in a while, this may look a little different. We've added a manage teams button, a manage coaches button, and those two I'll go through here at the end in more depth because those seem to be the two tabs that most athletic directors were looking for to use to go in and manage their teams or grant access to their coaches or update coaches' names. But first things first, let's head into the calendar. The calendar is your whole school schedule. So each event and game that is listed on each team's schedule or calendar will be listed here. And you can toggle on and off teams here to see only varsity schedules, only football schedules of all levels, and so on. So for instance, if we only wanted to see football, we would get rid of, uncheck all of these other sports, and then you have all levels of football listed on your calendar only. So if you only wanted to see varsity, you can toggle any of those off from here. So that's just a cool tool to use if you're curious about what's going on this month at your school. And if you go back to the home page, we'll skip down to the message center. So your message center, you can post to the school wall or any specific team wall, and posts can be marked private. So if you wanted to specifically post to your girls volleyball team, you can do so from here by clicking add a post, where you'll be able to mark the post as private and only send that out to people of the team, or If you wanted to publish a something to a team wall that's viewable to the public so any fans can see, you can do so as well by coming here and clicking add a post, and you'll be able to file down to the correct team wall that you would like to post to, or you can post to the entire school as well. If we go back to our homepage, we'll skip down here to notifications. So if you need or want to check quickly what information may be missing from which teams at your school, this is the best place to go. Note it only shows the teams that have missing information. So any teams that don't have any missing information won't be showing here. So for instance, you see here that the baseball team has their schedule and the results are in for that schedule. They're missing the roster and stats for the season. And you can scroll down here and check out any teams that are missing any information at all. And this is just a good place to go if you're curious about what is being entered for which teams. You can also log in to the team to update that information strictly from this page as well. So if you see that the varsity baseball team's roster isn't in and you want to get that entered in pretty quickly, all you'll have to do is click this exclamation point next to roster, and that will take you directly into the roster for the team where you're able to edit and add the information that you need to. So again, I'll go into more detail about the coach admin and how to utilize specific team admin permissions. So how to add your roster and schedule and so on here in a second. But if you needed to quickly get to information that is missing for a team, this is where I would suggest going. And you can click right in to get to that information that is missing. If we go back, we'll skip down here to reports. So if you click reports, this is a great place to go to create a quick report for your rosters or schedules with a simple click of a button. So if you are curious about the rosters that are entered for your school, if you click roster and click next, it'll just generate a report for the rosters at your school, and same for schedule. So back at the homepage for AD admin, we'll go back to manage school. So if we click on manage school, this is specific to your school admin. So if you need to grant an assistant athletic director, or if you are the assistant athletic director and you need to grant your athletic director permission to the school to be able to edit any information, you'll want to come here to add update permissions. So this is where you'll want to go to give access to anybody that you want to have access to the school to edit the school's information. So if you come here, you'll see anybody that already has access to the school. The majority of you will not have as many as MaxPreps does here. So if you see this many, feel free to give us a call. But you can remove anybody that has access to the team that shouldn't have access to the team from this page by clicking the red X next to their name. If you need to add somebody, you'll come up here to add school admin. You'll fill out this information, select their school role. So if it's an assistant athletic director, you can give them whichever title you want. And click save, and that should grant them give them access to the team, and they'll be able to come up to their profile icon in the upper right hand corner and see that their team is now listed there, or their school is now listed there. So the difference between the permissions and the athletic director name is if you come here to update the AD from here, this will only update the public display of the athletic director name, and this will actually grant access to the athletic directors or school administrators. So if you need to update the specific name that is displayed on MaxPreps, you'll come here to do so. And if you need to grant anybody access, you can come here. To change any basic school information, such as your address, your colors, your mascot, and so on, you'll go back and you'll click on school information from this page, and this will take you to where you can request to change your request to change your school name, your search terms. You can check those out from here. You can update your address and so on directly from the school information. So you can update all this information by going to manage school, then school information from here. So we go back to the home page. Next, we'll head to manage teams. So if you go into manage teams, this is where you'll see any active teams that you have for your school. So keep in mind that a team will be listed here if they've been active at the school at any time. So if you need to delete any sports that you currently don't have, or any sports that you've never had, or any sport that may be duplicated in the wrong season, reach out to us and we can do that for you. Unfortunately, you don't have the ability to do so from your AD admin account, but we can make sure that those seasons get updated for you. So again, if you have any teams that say you no longer have a girls field hockey team and you'd like that removed, we can get that, make sure that the most active seasons are removed for you. If you've ever had a field hockey team, we will keep any team that has any information listed on our site. So you may still see field hockey here, but it may not be the 21-22 season or the most active season. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us and we're more than happy to take a look into it for you. From this page, you can also add teams. So if you're missing a sport from this list, you can go to add sport and fill out the information here. You can also fill out who is the head coach. And so this will go through an approval process. Once we get that sport added, we'll also grant access to the coach if you fill out this information for the coach. So if you need to add a basketball team, whatever team you need to add, you fill out this information, fill out the head coach name. It'll go through an approval process that, again, shouldn't take more than 1 to 2 business days. We'll get that sport added. And if you fill out the coach name and email, we'll also grant access to that coach. So that will be taken care of for you. If we go back to this list, you can also log into any team from this page as well. So if you needed to make any corrections for a team, you can get into their account by going to manage next to the sport, and you'll select the level from the drop-down menu. And this will take you to the page similar to what you saw for athletic directors or when you were updating the school information. So if you need to grant access to the baseball coach, you can do so from this page by going to add update permissions. If you would like to change the display of what is shown for the baseball team head coach on the public side, you can update the coach name here. Again, remember that this just updates the public side name, and the team access add update permissions button actually grants access to that coach so they can update team information. If you wanted to log into the baseball team, you can do so by going into log into coach admin here, and it will take you to the home page of the admin for the team. So this should look familiar to what you saw on the slides. This is the home page for coach admin. And again, I will go over this in a few minutes about your schedule and roster and how to add to that. So if we go back to manage teams, again, if you need to manage or log into any teams, you can do so by just clicking manage, selecting the level, and then you'll click log into coach admin from the next page. So I'll show you if you do need to update the schedule for a team, you'll go to schedule on the teams from the team's homepage, and you'll see any games that are already listed on your schedule listed here. So if you need to add a game. You'll click the add button, fill out the information, game information, click save. If you're adding multiple, we have the option to save and add another, which will just pull up another form exactly the same as this one once you've added the first game. And then you should be able to come back to your schedule and see that the game is listed there. If you need to add a score to a game that was just played, once a game date and time has passed, you'll see this enter score button. So if you need to enter a score for a coach and get that in quickly, you'll just come here, click enter score, fill out the box score information, and click save. So I apologize, my computer is being a little slow. So from this page, you'll fill out the box score information, come down here and click save and exit. If you were to want to enter stats for a team, you can do so by going to save and enter stats, which will pull up your full roster. And I apologize, let's go back to this one. So if you need to edit or enter stats, you can do so. Once you enter the score for a game, you'll have the option to enter stats. So you'll see missing stats here. You can either click on missing stats, or you can click the pencil icon next to the game and enter stats. So if you click enter stats, you'll be taken to this page, which will pull up anybody that's already on your roster for the team, and you'll fill out the information and click publish and continue. So that's specific for the schedule and stats. If you want to go to your roster, if you need to add an athlete or remove an athlete, you can add an athlete by coming up here to click the add button, which is similar to what you saw on the schedule. You'll fill out this information for the athlete, click save, or if you're adding multiple athletes, save and add another. But if you're adding a full roster or a bunch of athletes at the same time, I would come to our quick add option, which is a new feature we've added that will pull up anybody that's already on your roster, so you can edit their information quickly while you're editing the rest of adding the rest of the roster. So if you need to add more lines to this Excel-like form, you'll click add another, and you can fill out as much information as you want and click save. And that'll add the athletes to your roster. If you need to add or remove anybody that no longer needs to be on your roster, you can click the checkbox next to their name and come up here and to delete. I don't think I covered that on the schedule, so we'll go back to schedule. Same thing for your schedule. If you need to remove a game that shouldn't be on your schedule, you'll just click this checkbox next to the date and time of the game, and you'll get the option to remove that game up there. If for some reason you're getting an error and you're not able to remove a game, it's more than likely due to the fact that the other team has entered stats for that game. And if that's the case, you'll need to reach out to us at support to get that game removed from your schedule. Last but not least, if we go back to the homepage, manage coaches. Manage coaches is a big one that we've heard a lot from most athletic directors when they want to grant their coaches access to their teams, or they just want to know who has access to what teams at their school. You'll go to manage coaches. This is a quick way to see what names are updated as head coach at your school for every sport. So if you scroll down, this will have all the varsity head coaches listed here. You can tab over to JV, and same thing, it'll have all of the coaches listed. So if you look and there's a lot of missing head coaches names, you can come here to edit, where you'll be able to add a team admin for that sport. So you'll click here, fill out this information, their email, their position. So if you are adding a head coach, assistant, statistician, whatever it may be, you'll add this information. And if they're the head coach, I would suggest putting override the head coach name, which will then, if you go back to this page, oops, I apologize. go back to manage coaches. If you go back to this page, if you click edit and you fill out this information and override the head coach name, you'll be able to come back here and that name should be listed here. And that coach should also have access to the team now. So again, if you need to grant access to any coaches, I would go to manage coaches. You can toggle to JV varsity freshman from here. You'll click edit and fill out that information for the coach. And that will grant them access to the team. You can also log into any team from this page as well. So similar to managed teams where you saw you were able to log into the coach admin for the teams, you can log into any teams from this page as well. So if the coach hasn't been able to update the schedule and you want to go in and do it, you just granted them access, but it needs to be done yesterday. You'll come here to log in and you can actually edit that information as well from this page. And I think that is a very, very quick overview of everything that you have access to in your AD admin to update your school information. So if we head back to this slides, I believe that is all for our live demo, and that may be the end of our webinar. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to use that chat box or Q&A feature. I know it takes a little bit of time to type things out, so I'll wait for you. But again, I'll be sending out a recording of this webinar here in the next hour or two. So look out for that email. And if you have any questions that you think of from now till then, or whenever it may be, feel free to reply to that email and I'm happy to get those questions answered. You can also always reach us at our support phone number, 1-800-324-7329, extension 1. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific time. So feel free to give us a call at any time. And if we don't pick up, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You can also reach us at support@maxpreps.com. That is our support email. And we're more than happy to get any questions that you have answered. Our goal here at MaxPreps is to make it as easy and smooth as possible for you guys. So if you have any suggestions or feedback, we are always open ears. Feel free to include that in any email or phone call. We're happy to make this as useful for you as possible and make your jobs and lives a little easier. So with that being said, if there aren't any questions, I just wanted to thank you all for joining us. Oh, it looks like we do have a question. Somebody asked if they have co-ed spring soccer and it doesn't show up as an option, what do they do? We don't have the option for co-ed soccer, so it would need to be either entered as a girls soccer and boys soccer team, both in the spring, or I would suggest just entering it on one gender level if that is the case, because unfortunately we just don't offer any co-ed soccer in any season. So I apologize for that. But if there are no more other questions, thank you all for joining. I appreciate your support for MaxPreps, and thank you and talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day.